successfully juggling through your many tasks while trying to be the best version of yourself can be one of the most rewarding experiences of life, yet a rather daunting task. Now join Cresta Durojaiye, Africa's leading productivity expert and life strategist, as she equips and empowers you with practical tools that bring organization and structure to help you be more efficient and live your best life possible. If you struggle with pulling it all together and need someone to handhold you through the process, this is the podcast for you. You're listening to Life Lessons with Cresta Durojaiye.
Hello, it's another amazing week on the Life Lessons podcast, and I am truly glad to be sharing with you. Today, we'll be figuring out what to do when life just doesn't seem to measure up. Not measuring up simply means not meeting up to certain standards. That's just it. Now, whether these standards were set by ourselves or by other people, it just means we are not meeting up to these standards. Now, some signs of unhealthy measurements are: one, you don't feel qualified enough. Even when that role has your name all over it, you just feel you don't have it, you don't measure up. Number two, you tend to shy away from people's compliments. Number three, you downplay your accomplishments repeatedly. Even when people feel, oh my goodness, this is huge, this is big, you just always feel like it's normal, it's nothing really. And number four, you struggle with putting yourself out there when you have a dream. You'd rather hide because you're afraid that when people measure or check it out, you fear that they would say, this is not really, anything big. It's not a big deal or anything. So you just rather hide and, hide your dreams and play low and not let anything show. Now, these symptoms don't mean that anything is wrong with you. It just means that these symptoms in themselves are not the problems. They are just pointers to the fact that there is a root cause that needs to be addressed. And as usual, we can choose to look for the easiest way out or, the usual quick fixes. And that would simply mean addressing the symptoms as we see them. And this can easily be done, or achieved by doing the exact opposite of what the symptoms display. We can also go the other route to take our time to actually tackle the root cause so that subsequently we ensure that whatever sprouts out of us are void of these symptoms or is void of these symptoms. Now, my title hasn't changed to Dr. Cresta yet, so just pay some attention to what I'm saying and let me not deviate there. So the symptoms listed above or that I talked about, they kind of have a way of restricting us from being the best version of ourselves that we can be. They constantly feed our brain, our mindset, our thoughts, and tell us that we certainly don't measure up. And as such, we don't have what it takes to be our best productive selves. In fact, sometimes it goes as bad as, making us feel like if we decide to go all out, our ineptitude will be exposed. And soon enough, the world around us, we'll find out, she doesn't know much, or he doesn't know much. I knew it all along. This was just packaging, like we say here. So it's like a vicious cycle. It just keeps going round and round, taking you round and round with it until before you know it, you're feeling woozy and you're wearing out from trying and trying again. And you just give up and say, you know what? This is not for me. I'm just not going to, do it again. Does that sound familiar to anyone? Well, at least it is familiar to me because I've been there and I know that many people have felt this way at one point or the other in their lives. So what is this root cause that we keep talking about? The root cause is actually comparison. 99.9% of the time, that's where the thoughts or feelings of, when we want to start to measure up, that's where they stem from. They stem from comparison, continuously comparing, ourselves with other people's thoughts or how other people will perceive, who we are trying to become or how we're growing. And over time, our brain, our mindset has mastered the the act of comparing us with others so much that it has entered into our very core, and it ends up resulting in the symptoms that we talked about. So what do? We address the roots. Where we consistently measure our success or progress based on someone else's life and their thoughts of us, that needs to stop. It's an absolute no-no, like I always say, and it's downright unhealthy. Number 2, we need to get to that point where we learn to be patient with ourselves. We need to remember, for starters, that patterns and habits, they take a while to break because our brain has over time mastered that art of, replaying the thought it has been practicing all these years. But this shouldn't get us discouraged. Rather, it should make us, hopeful, knowing that if we keep at it with time, change will come. And the new normal will be, the right measurement parameters that boost growth and positive habits. We can also learn to give it time. Again, I would say, remember that it takes time to change patterns. You will occasionally slip into the old mindset as you go along. But even when that happens, we cannot afford to throw in the towel. Rather, we should correct the occasional, slipping into the old mindset, correct it, and then keep going. Again, we can also recognize that these thoughts are just what they are, thoughts. Instead of wallowing with the feeling of self-pity, shame, or inadequacy, we need to know that none of this is strange. These feelings come with living, they come with growing, and, they come with attempting to take on new frontiers. So, and sometimes it can feel like you're just pretending, but you just keep at it and keep going. Again, another helpful tip is you have to keep practicing, because your brain has mastered this, practicing these old thoughts over and over again. And over time, you've gotten used to it. But once you do that mind shift and you discontinue the old mindset, your brain begins to adjust. It gradually begins to unlearn the old, and it shifts its loyalty to the new until over time it becomes the new normal. So what would I say? Just keep going and keep pushing. I had to learn these lessons on the journey, and over time I started coaching myself through them, and I did them over and over and over again, and it helped me in my own situations. I hope that it will help you too. So just stop comparing yourself. Don't feel that life does not measure up because you're seeing life through someone else's eyes or through their thoughts or through their life. Live your life, walk your lane, and be you. If you must measure, yourself with anything, let it be with excellent standards. That way you are making a more productive version of yourself, or the very best version of yourself that it can be. So I'd encourage you, learn these tips, and as you practice them, you would begin to even discover new tips of your own that are kind of tailor-made to suit your unique personality type. And the more you do them, the more you change. The more you change, the more your mindset changes and a new mindset takes shape. I hope it does the same for you like it did for me. Have an amazing week. Cheers.
If you enjoyed this episode of Life Lessons with Cresta Durojaiye, now don't forget to leave a comment and, of course, share with those you love.